Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week our Torah portion is Vayera in Genesis, and it's a portion that is a very difficult section. It has a difficult section within it, and it's a section that we all know because we read it on the High Holy Days. And so just a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, up here on the pulpit behind me, you heard our kids actually reading this very section. It's the section of the binding of Isaac, and it tells of Abraham who is so taken with his faith that he's willing to do the unthinkable. He's willing to sacrifice his own child. We read that piece each year at the High Holidays and again this week at Vayera, and we wonder, how could a person go so far? How could you possibly be willing to sacrifice your own child? And moreover, what kind of a God would request such a thing? Each year at the High Holidays, we use this text as a jumping off point to wrestle with ourselves. How far have we gone towards pursuits that are fanatical? And how far have we allowed ourselves to veer away from what we should do? The story of Abraham is one that says, above all, be careful. Faith is important, following through is important, and being a good servant is important. But there's something more than that. Humanity trumps all. And even if we're asked to do something by the highest of authorities, there comes a point where we need to say, no, we can't do this. So we read Abraham, we read Isaac, we thank God for the angel who steps in, we thank God for the ram who is there, the wrong place at the wrong time for the ram, but the right place at the right time for all of us. And when we do that, we remind ourselves that our call as humans and our call as Jews is to find this middle ground, to find the spot where we have faith in God, but also a sense of our power as humans. And we recognize that we can't live fully in the world of faith or fully in the world of humanity, that we need to be somewhere in the middle between the two, respecting both, encouraging both, working to nurture both, working to create a more moderate world that says faith is important and so is humanity, and we need to bring the two together. I hope this Shabbat you'll have a chance to wrestle with those questions again, not because I want you to suffer through the wrestling of Abraham, but because our world needs moderate voices. We've just finished a long and dark and difficult election process, one where moderate voices were hard to find. Our world, our nation, our community needs nothing more at this point than for us to find those moderate voices, to come together and to encourage our leaders to do the same. We can't afford to have people taking principled stands like Abraham did. It isn't good for us, it isn't good for our society or our country, and ultimately, I don't think it's good for God either. And so at a time when we need that kind of healing, let our Torah portion be our guide this Shabbat, reminding us to moderate and to find that middle ground. Shabbat services this Friday evening will be at 7:30. It's the first Friday in the month of November, and so it's a late service, and our Knesset Shalom singers, our adult choir, will be singing, which promises to be a lot of fun and joy. We have our Tat Shabbat service at 6 o'clock p.m. beforehand, which should also be a wonderful time. Saturday morning, we'll celebrate the Bar Mitzvah of Ethan Pinsky at 11 a.m. Sunday morning, we have religious school and the Brotherhood is meeting. And the coming week, all of the usual activities going on at the temple. Our trip to Israel is filling up fast, and I encourage you to join us. The moderate voice that we need in this place, we need even more in the land of Israel. And the more of us who go there and view it, the more we can become that moderate voice speaking out in favor of a peaceful solution, a solution that allows all to live and breathe without trying to kill each other. So join us on this extraordinary trip that I'm leading along with Father Bill Redfield, and come to Israel and explore our commonalities and our differences, and then bring those lessons back home with you, because our world, our nation, our community, our temple needs that moderate voice. For now, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat filled with wrestling and realizing the beauty of the middle ground. Look forward to seeing you at the temple. Shabbat Shalom.